Welcome to A Wealth of Useless Knowledge, where we dive into some fun and entertaining topics. You're sure to learn something new here, and maybe even have a laugh or two. Now let's get into today's video. Cereal. The convenient breakfast we all know and love. Whether you enjoy it on the go for breakfast or as a midnight snack, don't worry, I won't tell anyone. It's certainly one of the most popular breakfast foods out there. Since cereal started being largely marketed to the public back in the 1800s, it's been flying off store shelves and has become beloved by just about everyone. No doubt the classics like Frosted Flakes and Rice Krispies are simply delicious.
Simply delicious. Oh.
But what happens when you fall in love with the cereal and it gets snatched away from the market, never to return again? Some popular old school cereals have vanished into the ether, while others have been bouncing in and out of production for decades. And today, we'll be diving spoon first into a bowl of nostalgia as we take a look back at 10 old school cereals you probably forgot about. So grab your bowl and stay tuned. First on the list is French Toast Crunch. Nope, not Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but rather its long-lost cousin. This cereal had a loyal following thanks to its sweet maple flavor and its whimsical shape as it mimicked the look of toast. This is one of those cereals that you woke up early just to eat while you watched your Saturday morning cartoons.
One place to see Doug, Recess, Pepper Ann, Hercules, Disney's One Saturday Morning on ABC.
Comment down below if you guys remember One Saturday Morning. I mean, it was literally the holy grail of cartoon lineups. But anyways, I digress. This fun-shaped cereal was launched by General Mills back in 1996 and quickly became a fan favorite. And it stuck around for quite a while too. The company had even at one point changed the shape to resemble its cousin Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And although the change was minor, it was actually major because the fun shape was a big part of what people liked about it. So they did eventually change it back to its bread shape, and it continued to make sales. It was so popular, in fact, it stuck around for about a decade. That is, until it was sadly discontinued back in 2006. But alas, its departure didn't last forever, as it was resurrected back to store shelves in 2014 due to popular demand. And it's managed to stick around too, as it can be found at just about any major grocer. Next on the list is the Nesquik cereal. That's right, y'all. Nesquik didn't just bring us flavored syrups for our milk, but they also had a cereal that turned your milk into a flavor. This cereal was launched by Nestle back in 1999 and was a sphere-shaped chocolate puff cereal similar to that of its predecessor, Cocoa Puffs. The cereal was marketed in a wide range of TV ads and stuck around for a while until it was discontinued in 2012. Now, there was no clear reason as to why this chocolate puff cereal was discontinued, but considering everyone was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs around the same time, it was hard to find much of a distinction between the two cereals, at least besides the company who made them. So one could assume that people just weren't going to abandon their beloved Cocoa Puffs just for the new look-alike. Now, although this cereal has been discontinued in the US market, it can still be found in about 43 countries worldwide. So if this is a cereal available in your country, let me know down in the comments. Another old school cereal you saw ads for all the time back in the day was Honey Smacks. This sweetened puffed wheat cereal was first launched by Kellogg back in 1953 under the name Sugar Smacks. It was later renamed to Honey Smacks in the 80s, and in some international markets, it's simply even referred to as just Smacks. But whatever you choose to call it, one thing's for certain, it's a cereal notoriously known for its high sugar content. I mean, if you wanted to bounce off the walls all day, this was all the fuel you needed. And that's not hyperbole either.
And that's not hyperbole.
According to the Oxford Companion to Sugar and Sweets, the cereal was known to have had what was deemed as, quote, an astonishing amount of sugar content, about 51%, making it one of the most sugary cereals on the market.
Again, not hyperbole, it's a fact.
Despite that, this old school cereal has managed to stand the test of time and can still be found just about everywhere. So if you're longing for a sugar rush, then rush on over to grab some Honey Smacks. Speaking of smacks, if you're still here watching and enjoying the video, why not smack the like button and subscribe? It's free and easy to do, plus it helps the channel out a lot too. Keeping fun content like this headed your way.
I appreciate you.
Now, if you're a gamer, this next one just may have been your ideal cereal back in the day. I'm talking about the Nintendo cereal system.
What?
That's right, y'all. Nintendo threw themselves into the cereal game as they released their own back in 1988.
Nintendo, it's for breakfast now. Nintendo, it's a cereal. Wow!
Now this, in my opinion, is one of the coolest and least expected collaborations I've heard of in a minute. It was launched in collaboration with Nintendo of America and Ralston Cereals. Now this wasn't just any old cereal, no. It was a cereal system, as it actually contained two separate bags, one designed to represent each of the company's most popular flagship games. The name was based on the Nintendo Entertainment System and was designed in fun colors and shapes to represent characters and items from both the Super Mario Bros. And the Legend of Zelda games. But as cool as this collaboration was, it was also short-lived, as it was discontinued in 1989, just a year after it launched. And although the cereal itself didn't stick around long, the hype around the collaboration sure did. As even after production of the cereal was halted, original boxes have been sold as memorabilia for collectors on a variety of online auction sites, sometimes at prices that exceed $100 a box. In fact, it's reported that in 2010, an unopened box was sold on eBay for over $200. So it's safe to say that although the cereal has long been expired, people's desire to own the collectible boxes hasn't. So if you're one of the few people who still happen to own a box, hang on to it as long as you can. Another old school cereal to hit store shelves back in the 90s was Waffle Crisp. This waffle-shaped cereal was launched by Post back in 1996 and was known for its fun shape and its flavor that mimicked that of waffles drizzled in maple syrup. It was a simple yet nostalgic flavor that made it a go-to choice for many cereal lovers. That is, up until 2018, when it was snatched off store shelves. Now, the removal of this cereal disappointed many people, and they didn't take it too well. But it didn't go down without a fight, though. Quite the contrary, in fact, as fans of this cereal campaigned for its return with the creation of countless Change.org petitions, and social media users expressed their grief over the loss of their beloved waffle-shaped cereal. And alas, all of their campaigning worked, as Post relaunched it and it made its epic return back to shelves in 2021. And it looks as though this time it's here to stay. If you've seen my Pop-Tarts video, you know that Dunkin' Donuts has always made strides in collaborating to come up with one-of-a-kind creations that shake up the breakfast world. And this next cereal is no different. Dunkin' Donuts collaborated with consumer goods company Ralston Purina that would later be acquired by Nestle in order to launch this unique cereal back in 1988. It came in flavors like chocolate and vanilla glazed and featured a design that looked just like miniature donuts. So if you weren't sure whether or not you were in the mood for a donut or a bowl of cereal, well, now you could have the best of both worlds. The launch of the new cereal gave people the joy of having their favorite donut flavor by the spoonful, but they only stuck around for about a couple of years. The cereal was discontinued in 1990, only to be reintroduced 30 years later. In 2020, Dunkin' would then team up with Post to create a new Dunkin' cereal and relaunched it with new flavors like caramel macchiato and mocha latte. But they didn't keep the donut shape, this time opting for a spherical shape instead. Despite the changes, many fans of the old school cereal were happy about the revamp, while others still say there's nothing quite like the original. Not only did Dunkin' have a collab with Pop-Tarts and Ralston Purina to create their own cereal, but Pop-Tarts themselves also had a collab with the popular cereal maker to create their own cereal back in the day too. That's right, y'all. In an alternate universe, these two fan-favorite breakfasts once collided. Pop-Tarts teamed up with Kellogg back in 1994 to create Pop-Tarts Crunch, a new cereal that was just as much flavorful as it was unique. It came in strawberry and brown sugar cinnamon flavors and resembled the look of miniature Pop-Tarts, giving you all the perks of a toasted Pop-Tart served up with milk. In fact, rumors of people breaking up Pop-Tarts and throwing them into milk to eat as cereal was actually what inspired the creation of the product in the first place. This cereal stuck around for just about a year until it was discontinued, only to be relaunched back in 2019 and then axed yet again. Despite this cereal's repeated attempt to get off the ground, unfortunately, it just wasn't able to stick around. By now, turning popular desserts into breakfast cereals just seemed par for the course. And yet another dessert that got the breakfast spin-off treatment was ice cream. Ice cream cones, to be specific. Ice cream cones cereal was a unique breakfast offering launched in 1987 by none other than the cereal juggernaut in the industry, General Mills. It came in flavors like vanilla and chocolate chip, and the pieces were shaped like ice cream scoops and waffle cones, giving you all the flavors of your favorite ice cream right on one spoon. This creation, despite its uniqueness, was one of the most short-lived items on this list. So short, in fact, that if you blink, you just might have missed it. As what was launched as a cool new cereal into the market, unfortunately was discontinued just a few months later, melting away about as fast as Olaf once summer arrived. Now, although the cereal didn't stick around, it was relaunched by the company for a limited time once again back in 2003 in celebration of the 100th anniversary of the invention of the ice cream cone. So who knows? Maybe we'll see it again one day. Now, if it's one thing we've learned by now, it's that General Mills definitely wasn't afraid to keep trying something new, even if it failed. And their launch of the Sprinkle Spangle cereal back in 1993 was proof of this. This star-shaped cereal flaunted a base flavor designed to taste like a sugar cookie. And to top it all off, they were sprinkled from every angle with, well, sprinkles.
Sprinkle spangles taste so sweet, taste so crunchy. But we spangle every angle with sprinkles.
And to make things even more interesting, it came with a sprinkle-colored drawing sheet as sort of a Cracker Jack-style prize in the box, hoping to add to its appeal. And with that type of add-on, how could you not want a box?
Oh my god! Wow!
But all jokes aside, the cereal did have a whimsical charm to it, and they even had a fun little jingle going and everything.
We spangle every angle with sprinkles.
But unfortunately, this just wasn't enough to make it stick, as this was yet another one of the company's short-lived cereals. The sales on the new launch were lackluster at best, leading them to being axed just a year later in '94, and the company hadn't looked back since. But I'm curious to know if any of you guys remember this cereal, and if so, did you get a chance to try it when it existed? Let me know down in the comments. Last on this list, but certainly not least, is the Smurf Berry cereal. This colorful cereal was released by Post in the early 80s and was designed to capitalize on the popularity of the Smurfs animated series at the time. They came in berry-shaped pieces with vibrant eye-catching colors, and like many popular cereals of the decade, were crafted from a blend of corn, oats, and wheat. Not to mention, they were promoted as having been fortified with vitamins and minerals to make it appeal to parents as an option to add to that balanced breakfast the commercials always talk about.
Smurf Magic Berry Cereal, part of this nutritious breakfast.
Part of this nutritious breakfast. Part of this nutritious breakfast.
Part of this nutritious breakfast.
It seemed to have everything it needed to be a success on the market. Except there was one problem: competition. Now, although the Smurfs maintained popularity long after the launch of the cereal, it just had way too much competition, making it hard to stand out, especially in the face of similar cereals on the market that had been around much longer, one of the most notable being Cap'n Crunch Berries. Surprisingly though, even with all the competition, these had still managed to stick around for nearly a decade until they were ultimately discontinued in 1987, and they haven't been seen since. Now, we've talked a lot about cold cereals in this video, but we did have a standout hot cereal taking over store shelves back in the day too. And so this next one was definitely worth the honorable mention. And that cereal, my friends, was oatmeal swirlers. This cereal was introduced back in 1989 and was essentially just oats that came with a gel-like fruit-flavored packet that you could squeeze on top in the shape of a swirl. They came in flavors like strawberry, cherry, and apple cinnamon, and it presented oatmeal as more than just a boring breakfast for adults, but rather a fun breakfast that you could draw on, making the oatmeal the type of breakfast that kids would actually ask for.
May I have some oats?
Despite the new ad campaign and the company's attempt to put a fun twist on an old classic, this hot cereal didn't stick around long, as it got axed from store shelves just about a year after its launch. The product was ultimately dubbed to be nothing more than a short-lived experiment by the company, but it didn't go much further than that. But hey, I guess if you're looking for an alternative, you could always just whip up some oatmeal and add your favorite toppings instead. Now, it's undeniable that cereal has been a staple in pantries all over for decades, and it'll be interesting to see whether or not any of these old school cereals that are currently discontinued will ever make a lasting comeback. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But in the meantime, I really want to hear from you guys. What's your favorite old school cereal that you miss the most? Let me know. Also, let me know what you'd like to see a video done on next. And if you love watching food videos like this and are hungry for more, check out my foodie playlist. I'll leave it linked for you down in the pinned comment and up in the iCards. If you found this video educational or entertaining, it would be
Delightful. Really delightful.
if you would like, share, and hit that subscribe button for more content.
Don't worry, I'll wait.
As always, thanks so much for watching, and until next time, keep learning.